We can do you however we want to do you, and not go to jail and prison for it. We are the law. We are above the law. We don't have any rules. We don't have any regulations. We don't have anyone over us. Um, Being former um, law enforcement correction side, um, you wake up to the fact that these people you were around, you were a part of, um, you thought that they uphold the law, and a lot of them don't. You thought that they stood for something, and truth be told, whatever you thought that they stood for, they don't. Whatever you thought that they were really upholding, they don't. The ones that do, um, what upset me is after what I observed after after the criminal behavior, after all of this happened, they introduce the ones that are good officers into those high targeted areas and those high problem areas in which they created the problem for those areas by not doing observations of their officers, not actually watching out for some of the things that are taking place in the community, not doing careful observation of several different things. Um, it was so much that made me question a lot of different things that was taking place, and then to know that some of them were connected into the hoism ring, or the problems that was going on in the community. A lot of them don't like the word hoism, and that's what it is. It's some people have a religious faith in it and stuff like that. When you hear the stories of people going to church, and the pastor is a pimp, and the pastor is teaching them a religious faith of hoism and stuff like that. And this isn't present here in Florida, but waking up to seeing that it was somewhat present in where I was at the time and stuff. Remind you, we cover religion in the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution. When they introduced horism into a religious state, and this is actually some of these people religion. Remind you, I told you I was dating a guy. His people was into horism and stuff like that, and that was just in the previous video. And nobody wants to actually talk about it or say it. When you use the word, certain words, they feel like, oh, that's profanity, and biblically it's unjust and shouldn't be saying that type of stuff. No, it needs to be said, and it's called exactly what it is. That's not profanity. That's me using the terminology and what it's really called. These people had no regards for life itself. When I say no regards for life, no respect for nothing else. And the craziest thing, I call them cowards. I call them cowards for real. This is my honest belief, because for me, we were taught more of a bolder approach. If you want to go toe to toe, we go toe to toe. Um, and it ain't gonna be no hiding or whatever. But at the same time, the strategy of that, you start realizing that you're not playing checkers, you're playing chess, and this is a thinking game. And you pretty much was out thought. You were out. These people was out thinking you. Um, by the time you woke up to it, it was already too late. You had already These people had did a million moves on you, and you hadn't even made one move on the board. You had been in a daze for so long that you hadn't even made not one move on the board because of the fact that you were in a daze and you was only working, coming home, and taking care of your family. And that was your isolation. That's how you kept your family out of the BS. But you didn't keep your family out of the BS because you working and coming home, because some of the people that you were working for, it's the same people doing this. Um, and when I say they're the same people doing this, not really to say it's them. What I will say is that the technology that they had access to fell into the wrong hands of people that work for them, and utilize utilize it to hurt their employees and their staff, and it was no good way to put this. I remember one time my eyes was opening up, the lens that the bio lenses that was in here, they had opened completely up, and I was like, where I was at originally, there was a gate there, and then when the lenses opened all the way up, I seen no gate, and then I blacked completely out. I was knocked completely unconscious. um Knocked completely to the point where I'm completely unconscious. That's all I can say. And then I can't even remember what happened after that. That's the scary part. I can't even tell you details as to what happened after it. All I just remember being not completely unconscious. And this is after the lens had opened completely up, and I could see where I was, and like I said, where I was at, it was a gate there. And once the lens opened up, I could not see that gate. All I seen was some people walking across, and it was like as if they were walking across the field, and I was blanked completely out and was unconscious. I don't know how long I ended up in that state. I don't know what all took place. You scratch it off and you disregard it. One of the reasons why I voluntarily um, pretty much Baker acted myself, and then becoming current with technology that you hadn't previously um, been current with. Becoming aware of technology was moving forward and you wasn't. Um, your understanding was saying the same, but things were different, you know. It's so many different things that I will be showing you guys on here um, that you all need to know, especially the targeting that goes along with it. Where I was pretty much told that I would be in prison soon, because of me divulging, me not laying down and taking whatever they do to me, me voicing my opinion, me fighting against what's taking place and raging against what's happening to me, that they were going to lock me up in prison, and the only thing I could think about was former activists. You look at Malcolm X, you look at Dr. Martin Luther King, you look at Huey Newton, you look at so many different activists that were before you, Medgar Evers, so many different people, because what they don't tell you is it's a lot of different activists that were speaking out against a lot of wrong that you don't even get to know. Their name did not make it that far into the public.